Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
Here in Washington, D.C., with the counselor to the Treasury Secretary, Joe Livornia. It's good to see you again. Last time we were together was at the White House.
That's right. Good to see you again. Thank you.
This is an exciting event, and I think to myself, my kids are now high school and college age, but man, I'm thinking about going home and seeing about a baby.
That's all. Be wonderful. Go for it.
I just heard the Treasury Secretary say in his remarks this morning that, what did he say, 10,000 babies would be born today in the United States, some 3 million by the end of the year.
That's
and
right.
Each of them under this plan proposed today would receive $1,000.
Correct, $1,000 from the U.S. Treasury, and you can top it off to another $5,000 annually. And the powers of compound interest, which suggests that you have historical equity returns. That money, maximum contribution, child born in 2026 would have over $300,000 when they are 18, and then by 28 could be almost 1.1 million.
And the Schwab numbers I read, if you didn't touch it, conservatively over $2 million by age 60?
Absolutely, sure, absolutely. Again, it's compound interest, and it's financial literacy. Many of the things the Secretary cares deeply about. People will see capitalism and the financial markets effectively working in real time, growing wealth, becoming a part of the system, being a stakeholder in the system. You know, we're democratizing capitalism and making an investment in the future.
And isn't that really what this is about more than anything else? And I know it's close to the Treasury Secretary's heart and the President's. There's an attack, a cultural attack, on the free market. And I think this is the great use of the President and the Secretary's bully pulpit to push back and say, no, the free market is your friend.
No, that's exactly correct. Again, this is an investment in the future, an investment in the livelihoods and financial well-being of young boys and girls born in 26 and beyond.
So the deal is families can contribute.
I should say even before that. I shouldn't say 26, because you can contribute if you don't qualify for the Trump accounts.
Yes.
You know, the 1,000. I shouldn't say 26. You could still contribute the 5,000. You just don't get the initial 1,000.
That's
so it's
right.
a very broad program. I should correct myself.
So this is, think of it another way, sort of a baby 401k, if you will.
Absolutely.
A family can contribute $5,000 annually to this account, and employers can also contribute, kind of like a 401k.
That's correct.
How does that work?
They go $2,500. It doesn't count as taxable income, and essentially works as well, like sort of like a savings vehicle, investment vehicle, 401 type of program.
So this would be, I have a baby, my employer could contribute to my baby's fund? Is that the way that works?
That's correct, yes. I shouldn't say 401k, because that you have to take out at retirement age. The young boys and girls will be able to take advantage of this at 18. Hopefully they'll keep it in the system longer, let that money compound and grow more. But that's money they can take out and do what they want. If they want to make a down payment on a home, they want to go back to school for an advanced degree, whatever it might be, they've got the ability to do that with the monies they've earned.
So people watching and listening, the best way to find out more about this and how they can get involved, it's right
Trump
behind
accounts.
us.
Yep, Trump accounts.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Trump account. Yeah, somewhere on the sign.
Right behind me.
TrumpAccounts.gov.
TrumpAccounts.gov. When you're filling out your tax form, look for Form 4547. You could sign up. It's live, and then the money will be deposited around July 4th.
And educate your accountant if he or she doesn't know about it.
Yes, but it's going to be pretty straightforward. But yes, they'll understand. The Treasury has made this very, very easy to understand and very direct. So I think it's going to get tremendous participation.
Your boss, Treasury Secretary Bessent, is so funny to us, may I say, in a good way. I have never, ever watched a Treasury Secretary entertain me the way Scott Bessent does on the world stage.
He's a Renaissance man, and very interesting, very funny.
Does he know that he's
clever.
going as viral as he goes? Is he aware? I mean, I know that's just him being him.
I'm not sure. I think it's him being him. I think it's what people like about him. They sense a general, just he's being himself.
Yeah.
Somebody that can relate to everybody. And I think people like that.
He really laid the smackdown on Gavin Newsom at Davos last week. How did that go? What was the review?
Well, I think sort of the viewership itself and the fact that it went viral, I think, speaks for itself.
Tariffs are before the Supreme Court right now, critically important to the president's agenda. In my view, I've made the case, I know that the president's attorneys have made the case, this is an Article II power. I mean, he's been able to achieve so much without firing a shot. We've seen it with Greenland. We've seen it with Venezuela. This is like a naval blockade, in my view, tariffs. How do you see it?
IEPA is set up where the president has the ability to control the imports coming in, and that's effectively what the president's done. The secretary was there. He heard the case. He thought the arguments were very powerful made on the president's behalf. It'd be highly unusual for the court to rule against a signature policy initiative that the administration administration has put in, and we're hopeful the court is going to rule in our favor. The fact that it's dragged on perhaps suggests that. The fact that the court is taking this very seriously and will do the right thing and obviously validate these tariffs as being within the constitutional right of the president.
Are there what-if conversations about they come back and rule them unconstitutional?
Well, there always are, and the secretaries mentioned that. If should things not work out the way we think they will, then there will be obviously remedial measures put in place. The tariffs are a signature policy of the president. They've been extraordinarily successful in dealing with the economic emergency and national security issues, especially as it relates to fentanyl and the drugs coming in, that the tariffs are designed to protect. So it's done exactly the way they should be implemented. And I'm hopeful that we'll get the ruling that we so expect. If it's not the case, then we'll go to Plan B. But again, the tariffs are going to be here in one form or another. They've been wildly successful, and they've not given any of the negatives that people thought they would.
And the revenue coming in has been very, very useful. I mean, I know the president has mentioned the revenue from these tariffs have been implemented already.
Yes.
Will we see it in things like the Trump bonds, or is that something different entirely?
The revenue has been important, but again, the whole point of President Trump is really trying to improve the daily lot of average Americans, working class Americans, blue collar Americans, and you need to do that by reindustrializing and reinvigorating the factory sector. And the tariffs are the important cudgel to get that foreign capital into the U.S. because you're tariffing, you're encouraging companies to relocate their factories, their production, their capital in the U.S. Then they build, they create jobs. Those are high-paying jobs. We start making things again. The president wants to build again. That's why in the One Big Beautiful Bill, it included full expensing for factories. It's just for 3 years. That never happened before. Again, it's encouraging building and investment. The tariffs are integral in that and rebalancing trade in a way that deals with this emergency where we've had record large trade deficits and a hollowing out of the U.S. manufacturing base where supply chains have been shipped overseas. There's national security issues involved, as the secretaries mentioned. We saw that during the pandemic. So all these things are an integrated approach. The tariffs are central to that, and I do expect the courts to understand that, and hopefully the ruling will come out soon.
I've heard the secretary say he expects explosive growth in 2026. Financially, tax returns are going to start rolling in soon. What do you expect? What are you predicting
Well, the
financially?
secretary, I don't want to say the secretary's wrong, but he'd agree with me. We're having the boom already in 2025. I'm sort of making a bad joke. Yeah. But the economy, if you look at GDP, excluding the government, grew almost 5% in Q2 and Q3. It appears that it grew 5% in Q4. That's private GDP. And you would think then the outlook for 2026 is great because you're going to get more of the full benefits of this tax plan that was signed in record time by President Trump last July. It's now fully in place. So you've got the 100% expensing for the factories, which should be getting built. There's evidence to suggest that's already started in a big way. You've got the 100% expensing for capital expenditures. So you build a factory, so that's fully expensed. You can fully deduct against your profits. Then the equipment you put in, you could expense that. You get record productivity growth. You increase the supply potential of the economy. It lowers the inflation rate. Corporate profits go up, and then that allows you then to pay your workers more, which is basically what happened during the first Trump administration. But this is going to be even better because the president has even had a more detailed, thorough program in place.
I know you're busy today. We appreciate your time. Please tell the Treasury Secretary we just think, beyond the important work he's doing, he's damned funny.
No, very much.
I just enjoy watching him. He's so
you should
funny.
tell him as well. I'm sure. I know he'd appreciate that.
Please pass it on. Sure. We love his good cheer and his good humor.
Good cheer.
Joe, it's great to see you in person.
Thank you again. Good. Hope to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Again soon. Thank you.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.